Chichester, the first place that I have busked where I needed a license. But don't worry, it was free, and I will tell you how to get one in this video. Another one of many cities in England that probably should be a town, but it has a cathedral. Chichester's pedestrian-only streets provide the perfect office for us buskers. So whether you want to go busking there yourself or you're just curious, here is how I got on busking in Chichester. Alright then, welcome to Chichester. I am literally sat outside the cathedral right now. What a place. Very picturesque, very sort of pretty place. Small as well. Reminds me of Winchester, funnily enough. Chichester, Winchester. So a bit different to places I've busked before because you need a license. But lucky for me, I went and got one not long ago. And I will take you through the process of getting one, as well as booking a slot, because you have to do that, as well as the rules now. The rules for busking in Chichester. So, first things first. To busk in Chichester, Littlehampton and Bognor Regis, West Sussex Council require you to get a license. It's free and it's pretty straightforward to get. The whole process takes about 2 weeks. Firstly, you have to visit the busking license page on the West Sussex County Council website. Click apply for the license and fill out the online application form. This asks for a bunch of your details like your name, address, telephone, where you wish to busk, a description of your act, etc, etc. This is probably just a data harvesting activity. Who knows? Once you have submitted your application, you get an email to confirm all your details. I ended up having to fill out the application form again through a link in the email. I'm not sure why, but I just did it. Then, once that's all gone through, you eventually get a letter in the mail that contains your busking license. My license lasts for 2 months from the date I received it, which I assume is standard. 2 months isn't very long, but it doesn't say anything on the website from what I can see about having to wait to reapply. Once you've got your permission to busk license from West Sussex Council, you still have a little bit of admin to do before you can rock up and sound the streets of Chichester. To busk in Chichester, Littlehampton and Bognor Regis, you have to book your slots. Keep doing this. Book. To do this, you have to call 01243 777 100. This is starting to sound like an insurance advert. It says on the website, once your application has been approved and you receive your license, you will need to phone us to book your busking slots. Bookings for the week ahead open on a Monday morning and slots can only be booked for that week. You can book a maximum of 2 slots per week and you can perform for a maximum of 4 hours per slot. Okay, let's book a busking slot. Got my license. Got the number.
Welcome to West Sussex County Council. Please listen carefully to the following options. You are now being connected to a customer service advisor. Thank you for calling West Sussex County Council. Please note your call may be recorded for training and quality monitoring. Thank you for waiting. The information or service you require may be available on our website at www.westsussex.gov.uk.
This is long. What's going on?
Thank you for your patience. We are very busy at the moment.
Good morning, West Sussex County Council. May we help you?
Hello, I'm looking to book a slot to busk today in Chichester.
Busking. Okay.
Yep.
If you like, hold on. So I'll put you through to that team.
Cool, thank you very much. I like there's a busking team.
Thank you for waiting. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your patience.
I wonder why they're so busy. The busking department. Maybe everyone's trying to busk in Chichester today.
Thank you for your patience. Okay, thank you. Benedict, so today someone has booked you at E Street between 11 and 3.
Yeah.
But the other streets are available, Wall Street potentially.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. Or the Cross, is that available?
Yeah, so the cross has a more limited time of 2 hours, but we can book you in at the cross.
Okay, maybe do North Street instead then. 11:30 till 3:30, is that possible?
Okay, right, there we go. So do you have your licence number to hand at all?
Yeah, sure. August Radio Project. It's acoustic guitar and singing.
There we go, so you've got North Street today, 11:30 till 3:30.
Awesome, thank you so much.
Okay, bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So, just to clarify, in Chichester, you can book a slot for East Street, the Cross, and North Street. In Littlehampton and Bognor Regis, you can only busk in the town centres. You can't busk along the promenades. This might sound like a lot of work, but to be honest, it wasn't that bad. I didn't really mind doing it. Okay. It was alright. Now, the rules for busking in West Sussex are all pretty standard. Busking shall not be carried out within 100 metres of another busker. If another busker arrives for their book slot, you will need to move to enable them to perform. Busking shall not be carried out for more than 30 minutes at a time at any one location, after which you shall move on to another location not less than 20 metres from that location. Now, this point is a bit contradictory because there is definitely a limited amount of movement you can do in those streets of Chichester. I personally just stayed in the same spot for my 4-hour slot. This isn't something I'm accustomed to doing, but I'm assuming it's what the other buskers do. The guy who was busking in East Street on the day I was there definitely didn't move for the entire day. I guess this is just a rule in case they do need you to move along because you might be annoying a shop or something. I don't know. If instructed by a police officer, traffic warden, officer of West Sussex County Council, or officer from the Environmental Health Department of the District Council, you shall stop busking immediately. Oh, this is a typo. You shall stop busking immediately a complaint is received. I think that's meant to say after. You shall cause no obstruction to either members of the public or to private premises. You shall comply forthwith any directions or requests by a police officer, traffic warden, officer of West Sussex County Council, or officer from the Environmental Health Department of the District Council. They love their titles here in West Sussex, eh? Any application shall be kept to a reasonable level and the application will be immediately turned off if requested by a police officer, traffic warden, officer of West Sussex County Council, or officer from the Environmental Health Department of the District Council. No motor vehicles or structures of any size shall be permitted in the highway in connection with busking. No sales of pre-recorded music tapes or CDs will be permitted. Now that's all cleared up, let me show you how I got on busking in Chichester.
She said, boy, I gotta get out of here.
Spot number 1, and the only spot of the day. When I arrived in Chichester, I could hear my fellow busker friend who'd booked his slot on East Street playing his tunes.
A salty breeze sets me free, is all I really need. Boy, I gotta get out of here.
And after walking up and down North Street, I settled on setting up outside a closed shop that was next to the Works and opposite Mountain Warehouse and Claire's.
She said, tell me which way to the beach. I need something sweet to sing my tea to, baby.
Things got off to a great start. It was immediately clear that the people of Chichester appreciate street entertainment.
Don't jump into the sea. Tell me which way to the beach. I say.
Prior to going to Chichester, I had heard that it was a bit of a hotspot for buskers. So I wasn't too surprised when the donations immediately started rolling in and the appreciation and reaction was very positive.
My mind, call me one, I think I need a sign. I think I need to get out of here.
Freaking boiling. That's my only complaint so far. Despite being on the September side of the summer, the sun was roaring and I was feeling the full effects of the heat.
Let's say you're from, but you want to be calm and we say that you're okay. But did you go to school? Right out there and you're cool. Play on the key the whole day.
Now, it might be because it was a Monday, and I hope nobody minds me saying this, but the general demographic of Chichester seemed to be a little older.
Yeah, I don't wanna hear it. You know it's more than I accept, 'cause I don't.
Not such a bad thing for buskers. Older people do tend to be quite generous, and they tend to take a little more time to appreciate what it is you're doing. That said, I do think some of the older generation don't always appreciate a Green Day or Blink-182 cover sang by a noisy acoustic punk artist. So I did have a few people walk past with their fingers in their ears, making a point, I think.
Yeah, I don't wanna hear it. You know it's more than I accept, 'cause I don't care.
But that was way outweighed by the amount of positive reactions I was getting. I'll be honest, I wasn't sure about playing in the same spot for 4 hours. Staying in the same spot isn't something I do. I always prefer to move around. Not only does it mean less chance of shops getting annoyed, but I also think more people get to see you this way.
Telling you to go back where you came from.
I tend to move around every hour or two when I go to other places, so I was a little conscious about the surrounding shops, maybe a bit too conscious. I don't think I needed to be.
'Cause I don't care where I belong no more. We share or not, I will ignore.
I currently play a set that lasts about an hour and a half to 2 hours before I have to repeat any songs. And when it got to about halfway through my set, I did have to start repeating, and I think that weighed slightly on the kind of paranoia I was having about the shops getting annoyed.
Okay, I'm over halfway through. It's 1:39. I probably started playing at 11:39. 2 hours. I'd say it's going well. Plenty of foot traffic still, for a Monday by the way. So, that's good. I'm not sure whether I should move up the road or should just stay put. Not sure what you're meant to do.
Luckily, Chichester had a lot of moving foot traffic, and I didn't see that many of the same face. New people were emerging the entire time.
Just a bug, baby, yeah. Just a teenage bug, baby.
About 2.5 hours in, a guy who was running a food cart across the road from me came over, and I was convinced in my paranoid state that he was going to ask me to move on.
Her boyfriend's up.
But instead, he just threw me a load of compliments and offered me a free lunch.
Must be new, the truth, he lives on my block. He drives an hour.
If you ask me, the people of Chichester are probably used to having a busker stay in the same spot all day. Like I said, the guy in East Street definitely didn't move from the moment I arrived to the moment I left.
Bug, baby, yeah. Just a teenage bug, baby.
But for whatever reason, I was just getting a bit paranoid. I don't know why. Maybe just because I'm not used to it. So after 3 hours of consistent playing, I decided to call it a day.
No, yeah, turn back. No, she doesn't know why she's missing.
My act is very energetic, and I tend to put everything I have into it. So if I play for 3 hours straight with no breaks, it's a workout. I debated moving up the road, maybe playing a quick 45-minute set, but I eventually just decided against it.
No, but to me this must be fate. Mother start to shake. How does she know who I am? And why does she?
Woo! Okay, decided to finish up here because it's tough. and I'm conscious that the shops here have just heard me play for the last three and a bit hours. So it makes more sense to me to pack up, maybe head down the street, or just call it a day here. Maybe just go and check out the other spots that you can book if you want to come to Chichester, and that way you know where to go. Let me count up how much I've done. If I've done something that feels worth it, then I won't play again. Let's see. So this here is North Street. So I'm pretty sure if you book North Street, you can just pop up anywhere you want. I obviously chose down there, but maybe down, like further down up here would have been all right. I'm not sure. Okay, so this is what's known as the Cross. I'm assuming people just set up around here. There's a bit of a Queen Memorial going on over here, but I think that people would probably sit up here or maybe there. So this is an option, but this is the one, if you book it, you only get 2 hours. And this here is East Street. So I'm assuming this is the good street to go down. Hence why it was already booked when I tried to book it this morning.
Busking in Chichester. First things first, right? First things first, it's a Monday, which is probably needs to be factored in to how well I did today. And second of all, I guess it's like the end of summer, although I probably should have put some sun protection on. Probably going to be a bit burnt after this. Sunburn in September. All in all, it went well. It did go well. It was tough. I felt weird not moving around. I felt weird setting up in one place and then staying there the entire time. That was different. That's not something I've ever really done. I'm not like a one spotter. I'm not a one spot busker. I like to vary it up. I get very conscious of the shops. I think though, here they're clearly used to it because people book those slots on those streets, or book the street basically, and then they play there for 4 hours. And the guy that's been playing on East Street, he was playing before I arrived. Total for the day has been £66.44. But my train here was £10.45. So future me can do the maths on that. So you'll see it's not a bad day's work, but you know, we've had better, we've had worse. And yeah, I'm pretty stoked. After my experience in Chichester, I'd say it's a great place to busk. Was Chichester worth the licensing and spot booking faff? Maybe. I would be intrigued to go there on a weekend. I think the license/booking system, I think it works well for the reason that you don't have to worry about other buskers. Not that I dislike other buskers, just that when there's too many of us in close proximity to each other, it always dilutes the reactions and the donations. It makes for a tougher day. In my opinion though, I think it would work better in Chichester if you booked a slot for the entire day to play for 2 hours in each spot. East Street, the Cross, and North Street. 3 buskers could book at any one day, and then you could all have a turn in each spot. I think changing spots increases donations, and it means a larger amount of people get to see what you do. But that's just my opinion. What do you think? Maybe comment below. Let me know. Thank you for watching this video. Give the video a like. Make sure to subscribe. At the time of filming this, I am pretty much at 400 subscribers, and it would be rad to hit 500 before I go on my Europe busking road trip in November. Especially because that means I get a community tab, and it means I can update you all as I go here on YouTube. And if you are a true fan, turn those notifications on. I make videos every week. I am August Radio Project. I will be back next Monday with a new video. In the meantime, watch the one on the screen or maybe go and find another one. And I will see you next week. Peace and love.